Hello everyone, welcome back to Glitz and Glitter. So this is number 2 of 3 that I got surprised from Molds and Shapes. Sent me a surprise package. If you didn't see the first one that me and Don did, we just did those the other day. That was the first, or actually 4. They sent me 4 separate molds. So we did the first 2 the other day. This is going to be the second since Halloween is coming up. And this one they sent me is going to be pretty soon, not quite yet, but it's a whole set of ornaments and I can't wait to make those. I just love Christmas. So I decided this thing holds like 16 ounces of resin. It's really, really big. And I didn't really want to use black or white to back it. I'm still thinking of my backing, so I don't have it all in my head. So I wanted to use as intense powders as I could so it didn't matter what color I backed it with. So I pulled out some of my chameleon flakes, and then I pulled out all of the Into Resin intense powders that I have. So I'm just going to go through and I'm going to paint on all of my colors. And if you watched me and Don do it, it took quite a while to do that. So I will do it in a fast forward. I'll start here now while I'm talking. But the cleanup was a long time. It took a long time to clean it because you guys know how I am, and I want every speck of dust to come off that doesn't belong there because someone's going to end up with this. And that's why I took so long to clean it up. So I'm going to do the exact same thing because there's so many cutouts on this one. I didn't want to just pour it with some colors, then you would lose all of the detail. So I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do as far as filling it. So let me just start painting these on and I will put you in a quick fast forward. I do want to say we're getting so many people in our Facebook group. It's a private Facebook group. If you have tried to get in and you were declined, it's probably because you did not answer the 4 questions. So people wonder why we didn't allow them in. It's nothing you did wrong. The only thing you did wrong is you didn't go down to the questions and answer them. And they have to be answered so we can keep people out that are trying to scam you and things like that. Bots that are trying to get in so they could try to sell their products to you or whatever. So you do have to try again if you didn't get in, and we will let you in. Just make sure you answer the questions, especially reading the rules, and agreeing to the rules is the most important one that you can answer. So that being said, are you ready for a little fast forward? Here we go. I'm gonna let you guys guess how long that took me to do. The paint on and the clean up. Go ahead, I'll give you a few seconds. How long did it take me? It took me 90 minutes to do that. So guys, if there's a speck of dust left on here, it deserves to be here, because I swear every time I turn around I see another speck of dust. But it is what it is. It's the best that I can do. I can't do any more as I look at it and see more. I have to get it off or it's gonna bother me. I put on a variety of the chameleon flakes, which are the hardest to clean. The powder isn't so bad. And then this gold here is holographic glitter. So 3 different kinds of things. Everything I'll link below. But yeah, every time I look at it from a different angle, I see another powder that's just sitting here. That took me forever. You would think one of these days I would learn to put a chair in here, but no, I'm standing all day, all night. I guess I'm used to it now. All right, well, this thing, I kept going back and forth. How am I gonna fill it? Can I fill it to hide any of this? And I didn't come up with a plan to hide any of that. So I think what I'm gonna do, I kind of liked the crackle effect that me and Dawn had. This doesn't need to be done, but just because I'm standing here, I'm gonna do it. I think I'm going to do, well, being that it's a pumpkin, I'm gonna do an orange pumpkin with the crackle effect. There we go. So again, it takes 16 ounces. I'll put a thin layer of clear on the bottom. I'm gonna get an orange of some sort. I'm not sure what color orange. And then we'll pour the orange and maybe pour clear. I want a better crackle, like a tighter crackle than I got when I did the competition with Dawn the other day. Although that one was fine, but it was a little light on the mica powder. So I'm gonna do this one a little bit heavier on the mica. Let me go pick some colors and I'll be right back. I've got 16 ounces mixed up and I want to put my clear through the vacuum chamber, but I want to mix up my orange before I do that. Maybe I'll put them both. No, I can't do both because my cup isn't big enough for both. So I think what I want to do is I'm going to put my powder at the bottom of this cup so I don't get powder everywhere. So I'm going to put a decent amount because I'm going to mix up about 8 ounces. So I put a good amount of powder in there. I'm going to just pour a little bit. I always forget this step and I don't want to forget this step. Because if you put powder in the top of your resin, not only do you usually not mix it all properly and it could fall to the bottom, but the powder goes flying everywhere and it'll get all over my mold. But more importantly is getting the resin and the mica powder mixed up really, really well before you add the rest of your resin in there. Because like I said, I've messed up projects before because I didn't mix it properly. So I think what I'm going to do is split this 8 ounces and 8 ounces. And I put a lot of resin. I'm going to pour just a little bit more just to give it a little more resin to dissolve in while I'm standing here mixing it. Anyway, this is the truest orange I could find in my bunch. I will link everything below if you're interested in any of these products. There are discount codes in my description box every single time, every single video. I list every code, even whether I'm working with that product or not, just so you always have it readily available so you don't have to go looking for anything. Save you guys some money. I know this is an expensive hobby, so anything you can save, please do. All right, I'm gonna pour the rest of my 8 ounces in here. I'll just fill up my cup. I'm gonna run the clear through the vacuum chamber because I'm not sure that the bubbles, maybe it won't make a difference. Should we try it? I think I'll try it. I'm just gonna pour a really thin layer and save a little bit to pour in the center. Unless I don't have a little bit to pour in the center. If I don't, then I'm just gonna pour it all. Kind of like I did the other day. But I poured it a little too thick the other day. I think that's why I ended up with large lines or large crackles, and I really wanted smaller crackles, so I'm just going to push this out everywhere. And then we're going to put the orange in. And it's the clear on the bottom that creates the crackle, so this is a pretty important step if you want a crackle effect. If you don't put this step in, then you're going to end up with very visible rings of your colors and no effect. Now some of the mica powders are floating, but those should mix in okay. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take my heat gun let me just mix this up. I'm going to let some bubbles rise to the surface. I'm going to take my heat gun, go over it, thin it out, pop the bubbles, and then we'll pour the orange and the rest of the clear. Let me grab that. So I see that it's separating from itself, so I'm just gonna move it over. I see bubbles on the bottom I need to pop off. Whoops. Without scratching your mica powders, the bubbles get stuck in all these 90-degree angles, so definitely look for those before you pour any color in. And you could spray them with alcohol. I would never torch a mold like this. I don't torch many molds at all anymore. I've ruined a few and I don't want to do that. So I use long neck lighters if I have to. The heat gun works too. But check all these little angles. There's a lot of them in this mold because there's a lot of crevices to get into. So you can see them, all the little bubbles sticking in there. And then gotta go around the edge, dislodge any that are there. I see some in here. Those bubbles will cause you a sharp space, a sharp spot on your finished product. There are a lot of them hiding on these little crevices. And the bat's ears, his wings have them. They're hard to see sometimes, especially with these darker colors. All these branches have them. I'm sure I will be missing some because There are bunches and bunches of them. All right. I'm just gonna spray it with 99% alcohol to pop them. There's another one. I took like another 5 minutes off camera and I just went through every portion that I could and got more bubbles out, which I'm finding a couple more. Just get as many as you can. This resin, I'm using the casting resin. It's got 40 to 50 minutes of work time, so you have time to do this. So just make sure you get as many as you can. I'm just gonna spray it one more time to pop the ones I plucked out of there. All right, I did mix this up again really, really well. It should be good. That's a lot of mixing I've done to this, so hopefully I have done it justice. All right, I'm gonna go around my edges first. And just work my way in from there. I do have some clear held back if I need it. Which I think I'm going to go ahead and pour. It will help the crackle effect as well. All right, that is good. I barely have any extras, but I will make sure I scrape my bowls and give you some sort of an extra. I'm not gonna heat gun it. I don't want it going over. I'm just gonna let this do its thing. Let me figure out what to do with these extras and I will see you on demold. Everything's cured and I decided to do my extras with you today, not totally on a fast forward like I normally do because a lot of you ask to see it. There is a full video on how I do my extras. You may want to watch that one as well. I'll get you the video number right here if you want to go back and see that. So I don't usually do these on a non-fast forward because, you know, it takes up a ton of time. But since this video is not horrendously long yet, until now, we're gonna go ahead and do it. So these are the two starfish, which I'm really not gonna do anything with, but I put my Marabou alcohol ink, I think it was this one, violet, blue, green, in them. And I just put a whole bunch in there, so you probably can't see it. Maybe a little bit. I can see it in person. It looks really pretty. These are the ripple ones from Into Resin. And then I did pour clear on this little one. So this is the underwater version opposite. I don't want to put my black glove behind it because then you won't be able to see. But I think what I'm going to do, because you have to top coat these, I'm going to put a little tiny scuba diver in the water if I can get it off. These stickers, I think these are stickers. I'm not sure what these are, to be honest with you. I'm gonna have to put you on hold because they don't look like a sticker, so I gotta figure out how to use these. So unfortunately, these are little decals that you have to soak in water, so I'm gonna try it. This thing is so tiny. I do not know if I'll be able to manipulate this tiny little thing. So I just grabbed a little tiny container. I'm gonna put it in the water while we unmold the rest. and see what happens. We may not be getting a little scuba diver in that water. Okay, the other ones, I had a little orange left, so I made a little pendant and a keychain. So I will put something on there and we'll top coat those two. And then the rest of that marabou with the sparkle in it, I put some of my little crushed glass in blue and green in here. And that came out really, really pretty. Oh, you could see it in the black, with the black behind it. So I was thinking about putting one of these little stickers on, which are little mermaids, and these are stickers. So I'm thinking I can put one right about there. Let me try to get her off. These are not easy either, so they're so small. And then you have gloves on. Maybe I'll try to pull it off with my scribe. Or even tweezers might work. We're gonna stick her right in the center. There. Super cute. I love those little things. Then for these two, I grabbed these. These come in a book of stickers. I get them from Hobby Lobby. And I'm thinking, hopefully they fit. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure they'll fit. These are pretty wide. I did have other ones picked out. I can put like this little one. Are these clear? Yeah, these are clear. Okay. They have a clear backing so you can't tell they're stickers. If it doesn't look white enough, which I'm not sure that it does, I'm gonna try a different one. I don't like that one on there. Get this back off. I'm just gonna put it back where I got it. Maybe I can use it for something else. I have these. Most of these are, oh, well, yeah, some of them are 3D, which doesn't work for me. This one will fit, I hope. No? Oh my gosh, it just barely fit. I have a little tiny piece of backing in there. Get that out. And maybe I'll put some sparkle dust in the top coat to make that look pretty. And that one, I don't think, some of these are way too big. Let me see, I don't know if this will fit, but it, needs a little trimming too. Let me think about that. In the meantime, let's see if we can get this off. Oh, he came off. Now I just got to get him out of the water. Oh my gosh, he's so small. Please don't fold. It's folding. Oh my gosh, I don't think I could do this. Well, it's on. Oh, I guess you could see it. Not with the black gloves, so we're gonna let this dry completely. Grab a paper towel, pat that water off. Can you see him? He's so little. Looks kind of cool though. And I also need to take a nail file and just knock that one edge off. The rest are pretty good. All right, so I need to find something for this one and figure that out. I've got this little charm. It's a little flower charm, and it's got 2 loops on it. So I'm just going to cut them off with my little snippers. Some are harder than others. This one is really hard. Oh, that came off. All right. And then I will use my UV resin to adhere these things. This is coming off. Hang on a second. Technical issues. All right. That is some really thick metal on these. So I guess these would be for a dual-sided necklace charm. Just make sure you get all the sharp parts off, although it may end up under resin, but just in case it's not under the resin, I'm going to take my little file here and just file it over here so I don't get the dust everywhere. All right. Make sure you clean all your items, which I forgot to clean, but I did have gloves on, so that's not too bad. Shouldn't be any trouble. If anything is sticking up, make sure you cut it off, like the little lip here from curing. This is the back, or it won't sit level on your tray. This one's not too bad. There we go. This one, a little bit. That one doesn't have one. All right. So I think what I'm going to do, let me move that one and get another little cup. This one I'm just going to cover in clear, but I'm going to add sparkle to these. So let's get this one done first. I'm using my clear hard type. If you're new, I would recommend high viscosity, so it doesn't flow over your edges and go everywhere, and then you'll have even more cleanup to do, and it's not fun. So just drag it out to your edges. Grab a long neck lighter to pop bubbles and cure. It's super easy. Depending on how many you have, it could be very time consuming. That's why I do it in a fast forward normally, because it can take me sometimes an hour, hour and a half, depending on how many extras I end up with. Okay, that's covered. Just go over that and stick it in the oven. And let me grab this. I'm just going to put some resin in here, a good squirt. And let's see, what kind do I want? I think I'm going to do which one? I'm going to do my rainbow shimmer. That way it goes with all 3 of them, and I don't have to worry about which one's getting what. And I just want a tiny little bit, like the slightest amount, because I like to shimmer everything up. Because if it comes from me, you have to remember how I created my name for this channel. Glitter is in the name. And I usually just cure each one for less than a minute, unless I'm doing something else, because I leave them in and I cure them every single time I do another one. It stays in and it just cures longer. Okay, so let's get this. You could do them all at one time, or if you're not comfortable, do one at a time and just keep putting them in. to cure. So we'll see how they go. If I get nervous because I put too much on, I will pop it in. Otherwise, I'll get all 3 done. And then cure 1 time, and I usually do 5 minutes just for a final cure after the last one is completed. And if they're still sticky, I'll wash mine with soapy water at the kitchen sink, and it'll usually always take off that stickiness. I know some people will cure it in water. I don't do that. It's just easier for me to just go to the sink and wash it. I'm going to hold this down with one. That looks good. Don't leave the flame on too long or you're gonna like turn it into water and it will run off. So for the charm one, I'm going to spread it everywhere I want it, place my charm, and then cure. I was looking for fall stickers. I don't have any for like these orange ones. I don't usually use orange, so I wasn't prepared for a fall keychain. I used to have leaf stickers many years ago. Excuse me, and I used them all on bookmarks because I was making a ton of bookmarks back then, which I think I'll start doing just to get off the keychain kick for a while and give you guys a little something new in your packages. All right, so we're just going to take this little flower, place it where you want it, and I am going to stick these in for 5 minutes, and then we will put them together. Some of them are ready, so let's start putting them together. So this is the little pendant with the flower. I just have a little pinch bail here. Don't ask me what size, guys. I have no idea. I just buy them and I hope and pray that one of them fits. And I'm running low on these, so I don't even know what size to replace them with. I guess I'm gonna have to measure it and see if that's how they do it. So I'm not sure what size they are. So just buy yourself a bunch of different sizes and hope that they work. This one does not have a hole. So what we're gonna do is take a flat back bail and some E6000 glue and glue it onto the back and let it dry. Doesn't take much. Just make sure when you lay it down to dry that it is straight where you want it. Unfortunately, this whole thing is a little see-through, so you're gonna see the bail on this one. Try to get that extra glue off. And this is a little thick. Even if I wanted to drill a hole to avoid that, it's kind of too thick to put can you see? It's kind of thick to put a pinch bail on it anyway. So I'm just gonna let that dry upside down there. And I don't need this anymore. So I had leftover glitter, so I added more rainbow shimmer to this, and I made one tiny little pendant with it. And I have a tiny little pinch bail for it. So I don't even waste my UV resin. There we go. And that turned out really, really pretty. So much prettier in person. I wish you guys could see what I see. All right, so here is one of the keychains. It's a smaller keychain, not too big. So we're just going to, and this one's probably done too. I'll just leave it in there no matter what. Just leave it until it turns off. So we're going to take a jump ring and pop it through the hole. And I have a keychain with a chain already attached, which made my life way easier. I used to do my own. You're just going to close this. And then add a few things to it. So I have a charm, I have a tassel, and I have a little clip in case you want to clip it on something. So here's a little jump ring for the charm, which is a flower. And then I will do a jump ring for the tassel. I'm just going to go a little higher on the chain. And there's that. Something on them. And I'm just going to put this onto the ring. And then if you don't want it, you take it off. So there's the one. You see the sparkle in there? And then this one, let me move this out of my way now. Same thing. Looks good. This, I wasn't sure what color, and this is not, well, there's a little bit of that color, so I guess it's not too bad of a choice. I'm just gonna grab a jump ring. I think this size, I do know, is 10 millimeter. I have, I think, 6 millimeter all the way up through 10. And I just pick and choose which one I'm gonna need for whatever job. But usually the key rings I use 9 millimeter and 10 millimeter, depending on how thick they are. And then I picked a starfish for a charm. And then the blue. Oh, I forgot to grab a clip. So this one's not going to get a clip because I already put them away. A blue tassel. There's blue and green in that sand, so there's just a little bit more green than there is blue. So you may not be able to tell by what I'm looking at. And that's it. Those are the extras. Really super cute. I will get you pictures. Of course I will. I always do. All right. Are you ready to unmold the main event? Let me go grab it. Here it is, and by the looks of the back, I don't know that I got much crackle effect, which is kind of disappointing, but I'm not going to jump the gun. But I'm not too sure about this one. And there better not be any extra dust after all that cleaning. All right, ready? Here we go. Oh, it did crackle. Check that out. It looks really good. It looks really good. Pretty happy with it. So you can get the glitter. It's a little different effect. I'm not sure you can tell, but, and then the trees have the flake look. Really, really nice. Oh, I'm so glad it crackled. It kind of looks like pumpkin, doesn't it? I think I'm going to add some eyes to my bats for sure. And I'm not sure if I'm going to do anything else, but let's start with the eyes. I think I'm going to change two things. I'm going to put the eyes on there for sure. What I'm not happy with the decision I made is I did two different color greens, one for the stem, and then I did the flake green around the edge, and I wish I would have done the whole thing flake green because now I kind of see that line. So I'm just gonna bling up my my stem with my green rhinestones. So those are the only two things I think I'm going to do. So maybe I'll do that first. I will have to fast forward you on this part because, oh, I already took out my little rhinestones for the eyes, so I guess I'll be doing those first. Yeah, you don't want to sit here and watch me do this. I'll be here forever. So just a tiny little dab of I use Liquid Fusion. That's what I have right now. And tiny little nail rhinestones for the eyes. So I'll do these with you, and then I will do the green one. It'll take me a little while to get all those rhinestones on there. And if I come up with anything else, I'll just do it. And then we'll come back and we'll show you the final result. So that was pretty cool. Thank you, Molds and Shapes. I appreciate you thinking about me. That was a nice surprise to get your molds. They are great quality. All right, how do you like that? Brings them a little bit more life. All right, let me get on with the stem and I will see you on the other side. It's done. This is the final product. What do you think about the bat's eyes and the stem? I actually like the stem like that. You know, I got to put a little glitz and glitter in these things. This is the final product. I will get you pictures without the glares from all my lighting. All right, you guys, that concludes the end of today's video. It's over so fast, I know. But I will see you all tomorrow. You guys all have a blessed day. All right, bye.